Oh my God. You guys, we have another special guest today joining us for Blinded by the Item. And it's none other than usually who you hear as my spiritual guide when I'm looking for answers and a text magically pops through. Donna Valentine.
Hi.
Donna Valentine from the Donna and Steve show, which you can hear on myTalk and all over the place, frankly, on the radio. Thanks for being with us today, honey.
Thanks for having me. I
love
hope
the
I don't
blinds.
disappoint. I do. Oh, man. In my car, I'm always like, come on.
That's why I love having you on, because you know the game. You love the game.
I love the game.
You're a blind itemer by heart. Have you had opinions about the shocking development this week when Justin Baldoni's case was thrown out by a judge?
Yeah, I don't know what to think. I
You're
was
not alone.
very surprised because I don't understand the ins and the outs of the
Legal
the
shenanigans.
legality. Yeah. Like, does he still get to maybe change some wording and represent?
Yeah, he will. There are a couple pieces of his case that they can amend and try to refile. But for the most part, that case, the main case against Blake, Ryan, and the New York Times is done. That doesn't mean the war has been won and Blake still has to prove her case. So he may very well at the end of the day still be victorious.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know enough. Like, I don't know what I believe at this point.
Well, what does your gut tell you? You have a good gut. Girl, you've been around for enough.
I'm leaning towards two things can be true at the same time.
Yeah.
Maybe there was some what's the word I'm looking for? Inappropriate behavior or comments. I'm thinking more in words.
Yeah.
I'm also thinking maybe there was something going on between the two and this is all a cover up on her part. I'm also thinking that, I never, ever want to say I don't believe something happened if a woman is saying.
Yeah, of course.
I just don't, I don't know.
Something smells with this case in particular because I think, honestly, just the way that she treated the film at the opening seemed to rub a lot of people the wrong way, myself included. It seemed like she was focused on the wrong thing and not the message of the movie, which was domestic violence.
Of course.
And sort of the maneuvering behind the scenes really seemed to be aimed at, getting control of the film herself, which she, by the way, has admitted that she wanted to do. So anyway, I don't think it's over. I think at the end of the day, we can all agree this ain't over yet, although shocking developments nonetheless.
Yeah. Definitely.
Brian Friedman, the attorney for Justin Baldoni, has been speaking out a little bit more. We had an article that he released through People yesterday, but then he did finally join his buddy Harvey.
Oh, did he show up on the, what is it called?
Live.
Too Hot?
I don't know if it was necessarily that podcast, but TMZ Live they did.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
And with Harvey Levin, of course. And Brian Friedman has been a regular guest on there through this whole process. And it was surprising that when the initial announcement came out, they said they reached out to Justin Baldoni's attorneys and they didn't have any comment. This was back on June 9th. So 2 days ago when it originally came out, which is surprising that they weren't prepared for this. His response makes it feel like they really weren't prepared for this. He says, what was Justin's reaction to it? The same as my reaction to it. It's not fair. It's just not right, is what he said. So we'll see. They, again, will be amending some things, changing some things up a little bit. But he said his biggest thing is to prove that Justin Baldoni wants to be vindicated in the fact that there was no smear campaign, there was no sexual harassment, and that's what they're going to now focus on.
And in the court of public opinion, like if you just look at, how people's reaction and the comments, it seems like Justin has still, I don't know. I think Justin is still winning. If you just look at it clearly from who's winning the publicity war.
Yeah.
It seems like he has done a better job up to this point. And I think it's in large part because of Brian Friedman. But again, we're dealing with an actual legal case. So that's a whole separate kettle of fish. And Blake will have, if this trial does move forward. And by the way, don't forget the judge could dismiss her case against him.
That's very true.
We haven't gotten to the end of this yet.
Oh man. Wouldn't that be crazy if everything gets
and
thrown
we're like,
out?
why did we spend the last 6 months talking about this?
Oh my gosh, that would be crazy.
Only people who'd be satisfied are the lawyers and us, because we all got a lot out of it.
Yeah, that's true. We absolutely did.
Let's roll on and do some blind items today. By the way, be sure to like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. You'll be notified as soon as we go live with our premiere each day. Let's begin with this one. They can claim they are staying true to the origin story all they want, but the real reason the streamer is pivoting is because of a massive ratings fall off. Once the focus shifted from this A-plus list actor who's in everything, people bailed. The young, foreign-born A-minus list, mostly TV actress, just isn't likable enough to carry the show.
Wow.
This is a deep one. There's a lot going on.
Starts us off with a tough one.
They can claim. Well, she comes in here talking all cocky, talking like she's got this down. I'm screaming in my car all the time. I'm coming at her.
It's true.
All right. They can claim all they want that they're staying true to the origin story, but the real reason the streamer is pivoting is because of a massive ratings fall off. Once the focus shifted from this A-plus list actor who's in everything, people bailed. And this young, foreign-born A-minus list, mostly TV actress, just isn't likable enough to carry the load, carry the show.
Okay.
I want to know what this is. Is anything jumping out to you early?
The first thing that jumped out to me, I got lost in the TV part.
Mm-hmm.
That's what threw me off. I was thinking Gal Gadot and Wonder Woman.
Oh, okay. I mean, I originally, I know it's not Meghan Markle. I was just thinking of Meghan Markle and Netflix.
Nope. So we've got a streamer show.
Yep.
And apparently the focus shifted on the streamer show from an A-plus list actor who's in everything. And when that happened, people bailed. Ratings fell off. And they're saying that this young, foreign-born A-minus list, mostly TV actress, isn't likable enough to carry the show.
Is this a show that is planning on coming back, has not come back, or
It's
is
coming
currently
back.
in? Okay.
It's going to come back.
But without this A-list person.
Well, I guess the focus is shifting from the A-plus lister.
Oh, okay. So they're going to focus on a different character. Okay.
Oh, does this have something to do with
I feel like I just read this.
what's the show?
Oh.
With the kids.
Yeah. Not Stranger Things.
No, not Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Streamer.
Is that
That
a
might help.
just
the streamer?
read that they're
Is the
going to
streamer
focus.
HBO? Yeah, we're talking about Euphoria.
Nope.
Oh, okay. So that's not what I was thinking.
Son of a
Sorry.
gun. Just read this.
Maybe you can get that A-plus list actor who's in everything.
Okay. Is it actor as in a male
Correct.
person?
And he should also have the foreign-born tag tied to this blind. I don't know why he didn't.
Okay.
So a foreign-born A-plus list actor who's in everything, including this HBO streamer.
Okay.
Okay. All
we
right.
should know this. I feel like Donna.
I know, and I'm embarrassed.
She shouldn't. Bradley, you should.
Oh, okay then. Well, I would imagine it's Jeremy Allen White. Then I would imagine it's.
No, because okay.
But
A
are you
plus.
saying because I think he's hot?
I think he's also foreign.
We all think he's hot, and yes, he's also foreign-born.
Okay.
We all think he's
A-plus
hot?
list actor who's in everything.
He's an A plus.
Yeah. Right now, there is nobody higher.
Is it like Glenn? What's his name?
Why am I having such an obvious hot blind spot?
Glenn.
We all think.
So
Oh no.
he's got his, I don't know, third in the last 3 years, or in the last like 3 months movie coming out in 2 days. He'll then have another one coming out in a month, and another one I think coming out 2 weeks before that.
What?
Okay.
He's in everything right now.
He's in
multiple
everything.
TV shows.
He's hot.
Uh-huh.
Is he like in his 30s?
No.
It's
Is he
not.
older?
Older than 30s.
Okay.
He's
Okay.
not a Chris.
He's not a Chris. In
And-
fact,
Oh, in fact, what?
I was going to say he just entered a new decade of age.
Okay. So he just had a
He just
birthday.
turned 50.
And his name is.
Again, for
It's
those
not
just
Luke Evans.
for those just joining us here, they can claim that they are staying true to the origin story, but the real reason the streamer, HBO in this case, is pivoting is because of a massive ratings fall off.
Well,
Once the focus shifted from this A-plus list actor who's in everything, who just turned 50.
let's go to the show. Will
Is
that
it
help
Pedro
us?
Yeah.
Pascal?
Yeah.
Oh
Okay,
God!
Oh, God,
And of course, the show being
the Last of Us. Okay.
Where's Pedro from?
he was born in Chile, I believe.
Oh, I feel like I knew that.
Yeah.
So
And then the young A-minus list, mostly TV actress. You guys know her name?
the one who's in the
Yeah.
show. her name?
Oh, God, I did
happens
know
to
this.
be?
She was also in Thrones. Her name is Bella
Thorne
Ramsey.
Ramsey.
All right, so let's fill in the blinds here. The streamer, HBO, can say they're staying true to the origin story of The Last of Us. And by the way, I'm not in here to spoil anything, so let's keep this
Thank
as
you.
vague as possible. I'll just say
I'm
that
so behind.
when the origin story of The Last of Us, they're claiming they're staying true to that story by pivoting a little bit, but they're actually pivoting because of a massive ratings fall off. Once the focus shifted from Pedro Pascal, everybody bailed on the show, and Bella Ramsey isn't likable enough to carry it.
Aww.
So I feel like the blinds have something out for her. I hope that. I hope that I don't want to say I hope that's the case, meaning I hope it is the blinds' own bias and not the reality. Because,
Right.
Yeah.
Social
I don't
media
feel that way.
hates that girl, and it sucks.
Oh, that's so awful.
And mostly it's because people don't, and I should be honest, I don't think the vast majority of people feel this way. I'm specifically saying social media.
Yeah.
You've got the absolute, like, hardcore fanboys of Last of Us that for many years have fantasized and envisioned what this person was supposed to be and what they were going to look like when they did the live action. And the fact that Bella Ramsey, despite being a phenomenal actress and crushing it in this role, she doesn't look the part they expected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even
Which
though
is
it's kind of
not-
creepy because the first season she was 14.
Yeah.
But let's just say she didn't look the part in their mind, and that is why they have been keyboard warriors, just completely saying that she's awful and this is terrible. And I think that's really worked against her, and it's unfortunate.
Anybody who has been a fan of something knows that there is a whole portion of fandom that's toxic, usually, because I think back to like Doctor Who, and whether it was, bringing in the first female Doctor Who or the first Doctor Who of color, like the characters playing these fictional characters,
Right.
the people who feel like it's an opportunity for them to let their bias, their sexism, their
Right.
racism show.
A lot of that happens with books that are turned into movies.
For sure.
You've got this vision of what this person should be, and then when they're not, you want to be heard.
Yeah. Stop it.
Leave her alone.
Anyway, I need to watch the series because I have literally not started season 2 yet.
Oh boy, get into it. Come on now.
No.
So good. All right, let's roll on and do another one. That was a little deep dive that took a second, but we'll get back on track. Here we go. How about this one? This former A-list reality star thinks she is a much bigger deal than she really is. She was blown away when a salon asked her to actually pay for a recent haircut. Is it her ego? Is it that big? Or is she just confused because she didn't have to pay for the last 2.5 years?
Donna Valentine.
Okay.
Let me fill in the blank.
One time.
This former A-list reality star thinks she's a much bigger deal than she really is. She was blown away when a salon asked her to actually pay for a recent haircut. Is it her ego being that big? Or did she just get confused because she hasn't had to pay for the last 2.5 years?
Is she a housewife?
No.
Okay, so that takes off a lot.
Well, I guess not by the definition of...
She's not a regular cast
She's
member.
not a real housewife.
Okay.
I think she actually is a real housewife, though.
You're saying in reality she's a housewife.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like I may have heard Brittany and Kendall talking about this person. No, I think
Brittany and Kendall from MyTalk, not Brittany and
that's
Kendall
right.
from
That's right.
the Jenners.
Not
And
Britney
Spears.
Spears and Kendall.
Jenner. Although, hey, I'd watch those two.
Okay, so shoot. I
So-
don't know if I'm going to get there.
Reality family, are they connected to the Jenners at all?
No.
Kardashian Jenners? No.
Not that I'm aware of.
Are they models? Is this person a model?
Nope.
Was she a judge?
Nope.
Was she a bachelorette?
Nope.
Was she the OG reality star?
Nope.
Or OG reality family, so it's not Osbourne's?
Nope.
Whoa, he's like knocking them all off the table. Who's left?
Okay.
Think of why this person might not have had to pay for a haircut in the last 2.5 years.
Okay.
This former A-list reality star thinks she's a much bigger deal than she is. She was blown away when a salon asked her to pay for a recent haircut. Is her ego that big, or is she just confused because she didn't have to pay for the last 2.5
She was
years?
wearing wigs?
Nope.
Well, why wouldn't you need a haircut?
Oh, she needed haircuts, and she got haircuts. She just didn't have to pay.
Oh,
Now
okay.
she does.
Correct.
Because she's not a big deal anymore.
Because she was
Not
married.
because of that.
She was
There's a
married.
different reason she didn't have to pay for the last 2.5 years.
Okay, so she was hooked up with somebody who was famous.
She was dating Vidal Sassoon.
She was at a place where they took care of that for you.
She
was in. Oh!
Help me.
Okay, was she in prison?
Oh.
And yeah.
Chrisley? Is she a Chrisley?
Yep.
According to the blind items, Julie Chrisley thinks she's a much bigger deal than she is. She was blown away when a salon recently asked her to pay for a recent haircut. Is her ego that big, or did she just get confused because she hasn't had to pay for the last 2.5 years?
Oh, wow, that's a good one.
I also loved the punny use of blown away.
Yeah.
Blown away.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get free hair care in prison?
I guess.
It must.
Well, I
don't know.
mean, somebody's paying for it, and
Yeah.
it looks like it's us.
Yeah. Well, we're not paying it anymore. And in fact, I think we're paying them back for all the restitution that they paid.
Yeah.
Blind item got a little petty there. It's not going to change on this next one.
Great. We like petty.
Sure took him long enough, but this A-lister finally figured it out. Beards are much more easy to manage when they're not real. Took him long enough to figure it out, but this A-lister has finally realized that beards are a lot easier to manage when they're not real.
Beards are a lot easier to manage when they're.
I'm assuming we're talking about a blind beard.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not a
Like
Not an
meaning
actual
like a
someone
fake
who's-
beard that I take off
No.
and I can comb by itself.
So someone who's covering relationship wise. Okay.
Took him long enough to figure it out, but this A-lister has finally realized the beards are much easier to manage when they're not real.
Okay. Bradley Cooper,
Nope.
Pedro Pascal.
Although we did see him out and about with Gigi recently.
It's not the usual suspects, I assume.
Nope.
Like, so it's not Hugh Jackman.
It's an A-lister from a different...
Genre?
I'm saying A-lister for a reason.
Athlete?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh.
I had questions about this because I saw something yesterday
Yep.
and thought, why didn't we talk about that? Is this a football
Okay.
player?
Is this an Aaron Rodgers? Wow.
Because did you see he had like a wedding ring on?
Yeah, he got
He had a
married.
wedding ring on?
It got confirmed yesterday, later on during the day.
He said, yep, it's a wedding ring.
He did an interview with doing his introduction speech with the Steelers, and they asked him straight up, and he said, yeah, I got married a few months ago. But according to the blind items, because they're the blind items, it took long enough for Aaron Rodgers to realize beards are so much easier to manage when they're not real. Of course, he's had a few high-profile relationships in the past,
few.
some of which have come out to talk about how terrible of a human being he is.
Really?
Oh, gosh, yeah. Shailene Woodley, both Danica Patrick have both said how toxic and they felt, gosh, what were the exact words? I don't want to speculate too much.
Allegedly.
And then there was Olivia Munn.
Olivia
I
Munn is
believe.
in the mix as well.
Okay, so do we know, follow-up question, do we know who she is?
We know she's named Brittany with an I,
Oh, I didn't know that
and
part.
we think she's a short blonde, but we don't know her at all.
Is it? Okay, so that's bizarre, correct?
Correct.
Thank
We've
you.
never seen her.
But suddenly
He's
I'm
talked
wearing a
about her.
wedding ring
Mm-hmm.
from the guy who has like a documentary about his life.
And instead of seeing her, we actually, I think it was Dumois that had a story that we believe somebody saw him with a short blonde, and we thought maybe it was her because she had a ring on. Couldn't just be a random person with a ring on.
Does she live in Canada?
No.
Is her
She
name
goes-
Emily? What was her?
she goes to
Goodhand?
another high school.
No, remember Emily
Yes.
Goodhand from
Oh.
Dean McDermott?
Dean McDermott, yes.
Allegedly cheated on Tori Spelling with a Canadian lady named Emily Goodhand.
Yes.
Maybe it's her sister, Brittany Goodhand. I don't know. We don't have a last name yet.
I don't understand this blind. It's saying it's a lot easier when the beard isn't real.
I think they're just saying that you don't have to worry about the beard talking poorly about you after the relationship ends
Because
if they're
this
not
isn't a real beard.
Because it's
Well,
not a real human.
Or I should say, yeah, not that it's not a real beard, because that confused me, but it's not a real person, meaning there's not a real wife. I think that's what the blind is saying.
I think the
what
blind
would be
is
the
ref-
point?
Well, again, I mean, what's the
What would be the point of lying about being married?
I don't know, to create plausible
what's
deniability.
the point of a publicationship
Great.
or a relationship that, you want it to, I don't know. There's a whole other conversation about bearding and why you want to, I don't know, do that or not ready to.
Although you feel like now with him, like that conversation is going to happen regardless.
For sure.
Because it's just been out there for so long.
Maybe he just can't find a woman to actually sit and listen to his conspiracy theorists or conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
What if it's not a woman?
Well, that's
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what the blind would lead you to believe, but we'll see.
Right.
Let's keep rolling on.
Right. You can say a lot with the word right. Right. Right.
Right.
He could have been the biggest guy in the industry, but crashed and burned thanks to substance abuse. In addition, he was a complete jerk to pretty much everyone for the majority of his career, which is why only his family made it to his big event a couple of days ago.
Oh.
They really give you nothing on this one. This, I'll say A- list, former movie/TV actor. Could have been the biggest guy in the industry, but crashed and burned thanks to substance abuse. In addition, he was a complete jerk to the majority of people that he interacted with during his career, which is why basically only his family showed up for his big event.
Jason Biggs?
No.
Oh, wow. That was a good guess.
That's a good guess,
Thank
though.
you.
Okay, so the big event, was it like a Hollywood Walk of Fame thing?
Exactly what it was.
Okay.
I have
Who
not
just
seen it.
got
Literally exactly.
Okay. Who just got inducted?
This is a
Or got their star?
It's movie actor or TV?
both, but movie actor, mostly movie actor, I would say for sure. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, mostly movie actor.
Did he pop in
But
like
did some
the
TV
80s,
stuff too.
90s?
He popped in the 80s, I believe.
Okay, so this is an old timer.
Would have been the biggest thing going, the biggest guy in the industry, according to the blind, if it wasn't for the substance abuse.
Okay, let me think about people. You said 80s, right?
Looks like he started his career in the 70s. Did some stage work first before jumping into movies.
Was he like in
and
John
television.
Hughes movies or something?
I don't believe he was in John Hughes movies.
Okay. So those
70s. I was going to go like Charlie Sheen.
Nope.
he's not from a famous family.
He is not.
Son of a gun.
So we would know him probably from his movie roles, it sounds like.
You would. He's at one of those guys who he's like an A-lister by name. If I said name 5 movies, I don't know if you could do it.
Okay. But we know his name and
he's active right now too. He's back. He made a bit of a comeback recently.
it's not
Mostly-
like Mickey O'Rourke.
Nope.
Mickey Rourke.
Mickey
Not
Rourke, no.
Mickey O'Rourke. He's Irish. Mickey O'Rourke.
Oh, man. Mickey Rourke. I don't think it's going to be someone that old.
No, he's mid
50s?
50s.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
50, so he was like
Charlie
a child
Sheen.
star in the 70s.
Matt Damon.
77, yeah. Started as a child star, I believe, maybe in soap operas. Transitioned to Broadway.
John Stamos.
Or done some Broadway stuff. Nope. But you're naming contemporaries. This guy would have been right with all these people if it hadn't been for some issues.
He wasn't in
Matt Dillon.
And apparently being a complete
St.
jerk.
Elmo's Fire.
He wasn't.
Well, what movies was he in? Was he in franchise films from that era? Although there were not very many.
There weren't really. I'm trying
Was
to
he
see.
more comedy,
Cruise.
action?
More action-y.
An action hero.
Number of big budget films in the early 90s even.
Really?
Early 90s, big budget action films.
Vin Diesel.
I'm realizing as we're going through this that I know nothing about this man's career.
Really?
Well, that's
Yeah.
probably why we're
Again,
having such a hard time.
But it's shocking because his name is huge.
Son of a gun.
name is huge. Why is it huge though? And he had a drug problem
Mm-hmm.
and he was a jerk. Have we talked about him in the blinds before?
Not really. He's pretty new, which is why I was excited to bring him up.
And he's recently been doing more stuff.
He's
in
doing more
film.
TV stuff recently. I think he just
TV.
actually won an Emmy recently.
Really?
Or was Emily nominated at least?
John Cusack.
No.
That's a good guess.
Um.
But he said not John Hughes films. So
Oh.
like that takes out so many people from the 80s.
Yeah.
So again, I would say early 90s too.
Early 90s action.
Uh-huh.
Tom Cruise.
Never quite lived up to his name though and fell off.
Oh, wait. Never quite.
Is his name a common one?
No, but it's a hell of a celebrity name.
Like Dirk? Or
Dirk
Shat-
Diggler.
or does it
Oh, no.
Is
What are
there
we going to
anything-
do?
This is terrible. I hate this feeling.
I
need
need
something.
initials. We need initials.
No, we need We need another hint.
We're almost running out of time. You will get initials. C.S.
Charles Sheen.
Charlie Sheen.
Chuck
Schumer. Christian Slater.
Oh, man.
According to the blind items, Christian Slater, who should have been one of the biggest guys in Hollywood, crashed and burned because of substance abuse. And he apparently was a big jerk to everyone, too, because only his family showed up to his Hollywood Walk of Fame ceremony a couple of days ago.
That is really sad. Donna, I will show up to your Hollywood Walk of Fame ceremony as long as you keep listening to Blind by the Item, which you can listen to on MyTalk Monday through Friday. Get wherever you get your podcasts, and don't forget to like and subscribe and tell all your friends about our YouTube channel. It's called
Blinded by the Item.
Bye. Thanks, Donna.
Welcome.
Where talk is
Blinded by the Item.
MyTalk 1071. Everything entertainment.
Hey, it's Jace for Red Cow. If you're hungry...